Max Donovan.
Where are we today?
Oh, we're here in Warren, Michigan at the high school.
And you chose to come out here on a Saturday afternoon. What was your motivation for coming today?
There were a few things. Seeing Bernie speak is always great, but honestly, the biggest thing is that I think what we really need now is the sense of community that comes with showing up here. It's the ability to connect with other people right here in Meat Space, like keep watching the YouTube video, but then turn it off and come out and actually
Stop watching our video. Go connect with other humans.
But seriously, I think the thing that brought me out here was a deep need to know that I wasn't the only person feeling the way that I was. It's been really nice to connect to a community of people who aren't just outraged, but hopeful.
I think that's this big shift. We're starting to realize that rage and anger can be great activating emotions, but they're not so good at sustaining. What is it that's bringing you hope in this process? And how are you building that converter inside of yourself to move from rage to hope?
The thing that's giving me hope is remembering that things are complex. Anger is a huge emotion, and so is fear, but we are big enough to make room for both of those on top of a million others. The thing that gives me the most hope is the fact that right here in Michigan, folks voted for Trump, but Alyssa Slotkin also won. In my city, we voted for a Democratic county commissioner and a Republican state representative. It is so far beyond these days, the simple partisan politics, us versus them. It helps me to know that if I reach across the hallway to my neighbor who I know voted for Trump, I think he knows that he has more in common with me than he does with Kanye West. And when I talk to him, we focus on that common ground. We humanize each other to ourselves, and it is so much harder to think of the other side as the bad guy when you know what the other side looks. I find it really hopeful that folks who voted differently than I did can still be as human as I am and can think of me in the same way.
That's so critically important, being able to imagine and conceptualize a world where people who we disagree with are not evil, terrible humans, but actually maybe would like to see some change. If you just want to address people who voted for Donald Trump and are thinking about changing their mind, what would you tell them?
Regardless of party, we work for our money. We care for our families. We love the policy is not as important as the people, and the human impact of our votes is the thing to think of. I know a lot of folks who vote for the economy, and they think that means voting for a Republican. And I disagree with that for a series of reasons that we could get into, but I think the more important thing to remember is that we have an economy to serve the people. We care about the economy because when it does well, so do we. I want you to think for the next few years, who's doing well in the economy we've created? Don't pay attention to the stocks, to the unemployment numbers, to inflation. Those are numbers on a graph. How are you doing? How did you do 4 years ago?